Hey everybody, welcome to the next two parts of Fall of Equestria. Let's see if we can finish this.
Pain and destruction, wrought by iron hooves. With a grimace, Homage added, "If there's any truth to zebra mythology, I'd guess we've given them quite the banquet."
Yeah.
4 stars helping destroy Equestria. Now why did that sound familiar?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, zebras.
Homage shrugged off the eerie atmosphere that had settled into the room by her table. Anyway, like I said, foolish. Joke Blue was probably right. Some Pegasus experiment that blew up in their faces. Cautiously, Homage at my side, I lowered my horn towards the black opal. If I was going to give this to Watcher, I wanted to know what was on it first.
Oh,
It was
really?
only reluctantly that I touched the opal with my magic and let it take Homage and her Athenium away from me. I felt strangely wrong. We were in a darkened hallway, wide and elaborately decorated, walking towards a brightly lit room with a decorative curtained partition hiding half of it. There were 4 ponies walking in front of me, a 5th leading them. The mares of the ministries. The first pony I recognized with Pinkie Pie. While every other pony was walking sedately through the hall, she was bouncing like a fan filly on her way to her idol's next performance. The pony was a little younger than I had seen her before. The candy cane look was still going strong, though. I felt a pang of deep embarrassment as my gaze fell on the lead pony, the beautiful white unicorn I had fantasized about. And the pony I was riding just wouldn't stop staring.
Whoop.
Celestia's solar flaring mare heat. The creature I was riding wasn't a pony. And he was most definitely unbearably a he, was as big as a stallion. I felt things that were not hooves at the end of my legs, and wings folded to my back.
Oh!
A tail.
Spike? Is it Spike?
Spike?
Yeah.
Fluttershy asked timidly, turning around and looking at me. Doesn't that hurt? My attention was drawn to something tight and metal squeezing my head. The recollector, I assumed. It did not seem designed for whatever I was. I opened my mouth, which felt all wrong, and answered, "Nah, barely feel a thing. Besides, Rarity wanted the memory of this." "Well, she could have worn it herself," Twilight Sparkle muttered under her breath from directly in front of me. I saw my eyes go wide once again at the white unicorn with the perfect purple mane. She didn't seem to hear it, being engaged in conversation with the pony I knew to be Applejack. The orange pony with the 3-apple cutie mark looked a little younger and not quite as weary as she had at Pinkie Pie's last party.
My
I
nose.
sure hope this ain't nothing to do with that. Thing we never talked about. Applejack was saying, nervous with caution. "Oh no, darling, I gave that project up ages ago,"
Oh my god, my nose.
Rarity replied with graceful dictation. "Oh," the orange pony sighed with clear relief. "Good." As we approached, we walked across a fancy carpet woven with gemstones. I felt a cold shock as the creature I was riding stepped over it. Twilight Sparkle had stopped just ahead and turned to eye the carpet, as Rarity and Applejack talked. But her attention was drawn by Rarity loudly clearing her throat. Fluidly, Rarity shifted the subject, speaking up to address all 4 of the ponies she was leading. "Now this is really just a first design, but I think you'll all be impressed."
My nose. Why is my...
Always thrilled to see one of your designs, Rarity, Twilight Sparkle encouraged. Rarity smiled with business-like thankfulness. "And this is just the light suit, not the fully powered version."
Oh, well, this power
She turned
armor?
to Applejack and smiled demurely. "And I do want to make it clear that I'm not trying to step on your hoofs here. This armor isn't as strong as your Steel Ranger suits, and it doesn't quite offer the same protection." "Then what's the point?" Applejack interrupted. "I don't see the use in creating armor that has any less protection."
Okay. No. So, there's something to be said about lightness, faster, more agile. Because, I'm playing Fallout 4. Look at the power armor in that. You're slow. You're not very fast. Yeah, you got protection, but you're not agile. You can't really do anything in it. Well, you can do a lot of stuff in it, but not, anything that requires agility or dexterity. So, that's kind of rude of you, Applejack. Don't just interrupt Rarity when she's talking. She's probably going to explain the benefits. I personally favor heavy armor, power armor all the way. But I totally understand the use I've been playing The Witcher, alright? I know Geralt, lighter can be better.
The group had reached the end of the hallway. There was a large mirror to one side of the room.
What the
and
fuck?
the other was filled with sewing machines,
Always when I'm
bolts of
recording,
cloth,
my
and
nose.
dress ponies. Designs and schematics covered the walls. At Rarity's motion, they stopped, each turning their attention towards the partition.
Someone's racing
Except
in the
for
background.
my alien ride, who only had eyes for the white unicorn. Well, because there's more to an outfit than just how well it stops bullets, of course.
Yes.
Applejack looked ready to disagree strongly, but bit back a comment. Okay, Rainbow Dash, Rarity called out. They're ready for you. Around the curtain partition stepped the shadow out of a nightmare. A blue Pegasus pony who was encased in a black insectoid carapace with only the front of her muzzle and the undersides of her wings showing.
It's made out
Her
of
tail was hidden within a scorpion-like
changelings!
sheath with a vicious barbed stinger. The ebony suit of armor was sleek and wicked.
Okay.
Yellow-orange
This is after you saw Camelot Wedding, isn't it? Because that is totally inspired by Changeling.
protective goggles with a bug-like compound eye pattern completed the look. Built into the sides of the suit were antenna-like protrusions, the crystals that tipped those magical energy weapons shimmering with shifting rainbow light. The reactions of the other ponies were immediate. Oh no. Whoa, Nelly. That looks demonic.
Yeah!
Ooh, Dashy, you look scary.
Ah, why my nose?
The creature I was riding turned to watch Rarity suddenly take off. Fluttershy, come back. It's only Rainbow Dash. We turned back in time to see Rainbow Dash push up her goggles with an armored hoof. Her eyes narrowed, a smirk running across her muzzle as she lowered her body into a menacing battle stance in front of the mirror. She growled menacingly, the armor making her look positively sinister. Oh yeah, she said. This is cool. Reality reasserted itself, leaving me feeling very strange. It was good to be back on my own hoofs. I didn't ever want to be that thing again.
Oh, don't be mean.
Steelhooves approached me as I trotted across Tenpony's monorail station. You're headed to meet that Spritebot friend of yours, right? I nodded, eyeing the armor-concealed warrior. Watcher, he said, surprising me. You know Watcher? I blurted out. Then mentally bucked myself in the head. I had to remember to start actually asking Steelhooves questions.
Yeah, always talk to your
I know
companions.
Watcher, Steelhooves intoned. You don't live as long as we have without crossing each other's wake. It took me a moment to parse what he had said, but then I nodded. So, Watcher really has been around that long. Who is Watcher? And what is she, or he, or it, doing? Who? That I couldn't tell you. Steelhooves lifted a foreleg, looking to it. Watcher lets ponies know less about Watcher than I let them know about me. Not without good reason. He put his hoof down. As for what? Watcher has a habit of finding ponies with who are... I wasn't aware that I was staring at him until Steelhooves returned the stare. Watcher finds ponies who are better ponies.
Oh,
And sets them on a path
that's
to find
sweet of
others.
him.
To create teams of friends. I found myself feeling nervous. I didn't like looking at my adventures from the outside like that. And then... well, most of the time, they disappear. Or end up dead. That was not comforting. At all.
Well, to be fair,
Steelhooves stayed behind at the station as I tried.
that kind of makes sense because Watcher, it seems like he sent Little Pip into a raider nest, fresh out of the vault to get a book. The book was helpful, yes, but not nothing he couldn't have just told her. You know, right? I mean, it sounds like he just doesn't want to get attached. I'm going to call it Watcher Spike, or maybe, we haven't found Rarity's corpse, have we? What if Rarity's a ghoul? And she's Watcher! Ooh. Oh, that'd be cool.
Onto the Celestia line. I didn't have far to go. The monorail curved around a ruined building, Tenpony Tower disappearing from sight. And there was Watcher, the Spritebot floating silently. Waiting. I have it, I said flatly. Thank you, Little Pip. I knew I could trust you. Now this spray bot has a compartment for spare batteries. If you could just... No. The spray bot floated silently for a moment. Huh? Watcher sounded perplexed. Trust goes two ways, right? I challenged. Well, yes. I relayed your message just like you asked, before you got the black opal. I nodded. Made sense, but not what I was after. Not now. I felt a fierce determination set in. Answer's
Yeah.
still no. No. You got it, but you're not going to give it to me. Oh, I'm going to give it to you, I said forcibly. In person. Watcher fell silent again. This time I didn't wait for a response. You talk a lot about virtues and friendship. Well, friends don't run away every time a conversation turns personal.
Yeah.
You can't have friends if you hide behind robots and never let any pony see the real you.
That's not true.
I snorted. Hell, even Steelhooves does better than you do. You want this? I want to meet you. Why? Because I want to know if you're actually my friend, or if you're just playing me too. Watcher bobbed silently a moment longer. I wondered just how much the stranger behind the curtain wanted this black opal with the interesting but seemingly insignificant memory. Then,
I should not be
just as I was
yawning. It's
convinced that
11
Watcher would
a.m.
tell me to go take a jump off the monorail, the toneless mechanical voice said, "Fine." I blinked. It was the response I wanted, but... You're right, little Pip. I heard a beep from my foreleg. I've uploaded my location into your Pip-Buck. I'll see you soon. There was a burst of static, and the sprite bot floated away on a drum solo. I lifted my leg to look at my Pip-Buck. There was an icon on my equestrian map. Far, far away from Manhattan. In the middle of nowhere. It would take weeks to travel there on hoof. But if Watcher thought this would dissuade me, or even delay me, then Watcher was wrong.
Never fuck with a main character when they're going...
I had spent one more night
When
in
they're
Temple
going all
with
out.
homage, after which, sadly, it was time to leave. Our first stop was Fetlock. Calamity spent several hours underneath the Sky Bandit installing the flex regulator and making sure everything was in working order. By the time he was done, it was getting rapidly dark. I've got great news, ponies, he said as he crawled out.
Battle
Breezy.
bus?
We all got ourselves transportation.
Woo!
Velvet Remedy, Steelhooves, and I stomped in thunderous applause. Now, this beauty's powered off an array of spark batteries, and the last 2 centuries ain't been kind. So we'll have to swap 'em out pretty regularly to keep her running. Wait, Velvet Remedy said with alarm. Do you mean this death trap's ability to stay afloat behind you could cut out at any moment? Calamity looked at her almost sympathetically. Nah, she'll start to sag first. Become hard to steer. We'll have plenty of warning. And, I assured Velvet Remedy, if that happens, I think my telekinesis is strong enough by now to keep us going long enough to land safely. There
Nice.
was no way I could live that much for a prolonged period.
Oh, hell no.
Not enough to travel anywhere, at least.
Just
But I was completely
fly
confident
straight
I could
down.
keep us aloft, even if the spark batteries died and Calamity fell asleep. For a few minutes, maybe. The others
Don't
began
fly
to gather
too
inside
high
the
up.
Sky Bandit. Already, Velvet Remedy was cleaning it with her magic and discussing how to decorate it. Neither of the
Yeah,
boys
we need
seemed
armor
inclined to
plates here,
participate.
un port
I
there,
floated out a spoon
a
and
little
can of sweet
watchtower with a
potatoes,
cannon
opening
on it.
I was hungry again, and I had intended to eat lunch as I planned the next 3 moves.
Damn it, this make me want to
With
play
the Sky Bandit,
Fallout
we could be on Watcher's
4
doorstep in less than
survival
2
mode.
days.
I love survival
Little
mode.
Pip, Calamity called out. You gonna hang out there